What's up? Ooh, I don't like that angle. Let's get it up a little bit here. We got a nice little night. Hopefully everybody's a little recovered. Wrong ear. Let's tuck that hair back there. That's a request to go with a mullet here this summer. We're gonna have to see what happens. Play out the year. Hope everyone's a little rested after long weekend for a lot of the players in the league playing out in the Beast. Ran into a couple guys last night at everybody's favorite Mexican restaurant, Los Primos. Went and had a lovely dinner date there with my wife after our game at the Legion. And saw Sean Taylor, RJ. Who else was there? Chainbow. Big group. Loved it. Everyone was kind of doing their thing, watching the Bruins. We were rehydrating after a very hot night in New England. Surprised we went from being about 45 on Memorial Day weekend, and now we're in I think we got up to probably 96, 97 this weekend out on the seacoast at least. So anyway, here we go. We had a night last night. I had no idea what happened at any other field other than what I was told. I've got the recaps. I've got all the games. I've got them written down. I'm becoming more formal, more prepared. And I'm giving you what you need, what you want. I don't want to be called out anymore. Well, for missing games. I'll be called out for everything else. So let's start it off. Let's go Legion, where we had Peterson painting and the Boom Boom crew, Boomers, kicking off the night. I got to tell you, this Boomers team, they played well last night, but they are going to need some help as they lost again. They lost 16-13 to Peterson painting as Peterson's now went 2 in a row. You got to get to 3 to win, to have a little streak going. But Boomers, on the other hand, they do have a little streak of their own going. That's their 3rd loss in a row. I talked to the manager, the owner, and coach of the team after the game, Jay Karima. He says, "Don't worry, J. Rowe. All dogs are going to be fine." He was actually in high spirits. It looked like the boys were in good shape. It was a good game. They played well. I mean, they were thin. They had 10. I actually was shocked. I had an extra guy. I had 13 guys last night. I was really surprised after the weekend that I had 13 guys, but it was great to see. Had a lot show up. It was a good back and forth. We kind of took the lead. I think it was the 4th or 5th inning, but back and forth until then. Artie Brennan, big trade. Now 2-0 for Peterson on the bump. Guy has been the catalyst that Peterson was looking for. But no, it was great. Artie's now pitched 2 games in a row. Probably going to keep giving him the ball because Gio can't get a win. So Artie, if you're watching, get ready for Wednesday night, baby. You're going to be on the bump again. We're just going to keep him. Going to try and get Artie the Cy Young in Merrimack this year. Watch out, Rusin. Watch out, Hartson. Artie's coming for you. So, good one. Great game. I like playing Boomers, I always like playing Karima, and it was just a good game. I like being at the Legion. I like being able to watch Kyle Palvicius, chirping him for his performance on the weekends and then still chirp him during the week. It's beautiful. So, no, it was a good time. Let's move on to, I don't know if it's just a surprise of the night, maybe the lack of runs being scored. Monahan, big dub for Monahan, 18-1 over Holtz. They played at Martell. They played at 6:30 at Martell, 18-1. I tried getting a little recap here. That was the team I was struggling to grab. It was a beatdown, 18-1. TA made some good trades to help him out. Getting this from one of their players. Billy Lafferty and George both homered, spun a couple of double plays. That's all I got. But the big thing I wanted to hear, this player, Billy Lafferty, actually gave me some great intel here. They had a great feast after the game. I don't know what exactly it was, but I'm assuming it wasn't just some chips and little pretzels. I think they probably had some nice, maybe a sandwich board, a charcuterie board. Did somebody bring wings? Who knows? Was player of the week from week 2? Sam Hill there? Was she bringing you guys food? She had some great buffalo chicken pinwheels last week. But that's awesome. Monahan, really happy to see that. Tommy Hudon was probably pitching. What a major difference you get there when Tommy's there. I mean, he's one of the best in the league when he's pitching. So that's good. I'm glad to see Monahan. So Monahan actually climbs out of the basement, and they are tied with the Boom Boom Crew in 8th place. So they're trying to get out of the toilet bowl contention, which they're not far off now. Right now, they're about a game back out of it. So let's see what happens here. Moving on to the other 6:30 game that was at Twardarski. Buckley versus Regional. And are we starting to see who Regional is? The calendar has changed. We are now in June, and everybody said when June comes, Regional strong here on out. May, they're a big May team. Early season, they're really good. But when it comes to June, they struggle. So this one was an exciting game early on as Buckley scored 6 in the top of the first, only to be answered by my father, my dad, Tony Sr., by a grand slam. Hit a grand slam bottom half of the first. Softball Tony, great job, Dad. Give you a little high five there. If you tune into the podcast this week, you'll maybe get some of the jokes as to why I'm calling him my father. Been nicknamed Tony Jr. a couple too many times. Rick Charette stepped up huge for Buckley and started the game on the mound in his first time pitching in almost 3 years. Woo, Rick, way to really come through. He was able to get through 2 innings without too much damage before Poisson arrived and closed it out. So it sounds like they went with the Tampa Bay Rays pitching approach. You get your reliever in quick, give him a couple innings, and then you bring somebody in for the long haul. Buckley lineup hit top to bottom with every player scoring at least 1 run. Key hits from Goomis, Teddy, and Jay McGilvery helped Buckley control this game from start to finish. Regional was led by Ramsey, Softball Tony, good job, Dad, and their third baseman, the regional third baseman, who has given us a permission to use his name, but we're going to keep him as a third baseman for regional. They combined to go 11 for 12 with all 5 home runs. Tony for 2, and the third baseman for regional had 3. That is unbelievable. Great job, boys. Buckley left 2 in the bank and still almost scored 30 runs. The Buckley train continues to roll. Toot, toot. Beating regional for the 8th straight victory. That's unbelievable. Buckley is just like butter on a roll. Slap it on there. It's delicious, and they can't be stopped right now. Now, getting back to regionals records, 26-4. This is combined, right? In June through September, their coach right now, Chad Lawrence, his combined record from June to September is 13-96. Oh, boy, I'm sure Regional's not going to like to hear that. I'm sure the blog is salty and crying today. I'm sure they've all been working up their excuses. So, but no, that's great. Buckley is definitely a force to contend with right now as they've won 8 in a row. They are 8-2, and they have that's a hell of a run they're on right now. Can they be stopped? We will have to wait and see. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this week. Next up, we got VFW versus NHI, New Hampshire Irrigation. VFW opened up the primetime game. I like that we're talking about primetime games here. Fairly hot. Scoring 5 runs in the first, but hitting 2 home runs in the process. Not what you love to see, but it's still better than a solo. And VFW, you do tend to fight over who's going to hit home runs early in games. A shorthanded NHI responded by scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the first to seemingly make it look like a good game. But that was the closest the game would be for the remainder of the matchup. The group of VFW new players, Sean Rando, Justin Pettigrew, Petty, Alex Dugas, Doogie, and Dan Waddell. What, he doesn't get one? He doesn't get a nickname? Come on. Continue to stay hot and consistently keeps the momentum rolling right through the lineup. After VFW achieved a comfortable lead, they made some defensive adjustments. They pulled out their lazy boys. They put Mikey Gallo up on the mound to pitch. He had a lot of jazz on the mound, but not a whole lot of strikes, letting up a handful of walks and 2 grand slams, accounting for almost half the runs scored by NHI this game. But he made up for it by hitting 2 no-doubt grand slams himself, despite the best efforts of the 2 veterans of the league, Joey V and Chad LaFontaine. NHI just couldn't keep up with a hot VFW squad, losing in a final score of 33-17. Wish I saw Gallo pitch. That would have been great to see. I don't know. I know you put in here no doubters, no doubt home runs or grand slams by Mikey Gallo. Has he ever hit a home run that isn't a no doubter? That's great. This VFW team, I want to see VFW Buckley with 2 full rosters. Like, I want to see that. That'll be a hell of a game when that happens. So now VFW, they've won 5 in a row. We got 2 teams here. Buckley's won 8. VFW's won 5. A&D's got 3 here. So, some good positive streaks going. Speaking of positive streaks, we got a positive streak and a negative streak here. A&D versus TNT, Tomahawk Tavern. Good friend of mine, actually, is now bartending at Tomahawk Tavern. Go see her. Get yourself a lovely steak and cheese and go say hi to Christy when she's bartending and tell her Big Boy J. Rose sent you. Anyway, here we go. A&D was away. George started on the mump. No, we don't have mumps. We have bumps. George started on the bump for Tomahawk. Brett Belrose led off the game with a, I guess this is becoming a signature move for Brett, a leadoff out. So Colby, you might want to change up your leadoff hitter then. Then the boys started rolling, being disciplined at the plate, taking walks and swinging hard at the right pitches. I think that's all his assistant coach helping out there. I'd like to say it was Colby, but I have a feeling it was his assistant coach helping the boys get on track. They put up 16 runs. Holy Jesus. A&D put up 16 runs in the first, and it came back and put up a few off a home run by George. But following that inning, Hollywood came, and A&D continued on the same path, swinging hard, taking bases. Love to see that. A&D coming out hot. They put the foot on the gas, and they kept it there. They just kept going. Love to see this, though. Matty DeLude hit a bomb in either the second or the third, but just wasn't enough to spark a Tomahawk comeback. I got to tell you, anytime you see a guy like DeLude, you hit a bomb, one of the wily vets of the league, you got to love that. I wish DeLude had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth when he went yard. That would be awesome. Probably went back to the dugout, ripped one real quick. I know he was playing third base last night, but no, that's all. I love seeing that stuff. That anarchy's got to be going nice then. Anarchy's nice on a hot night. I like it. A&D knew they were close for a run rule game, so they put up some insurance, and the defense held on to get an early end to the game. When it's the 8:30 game, you're on that West Coast game. An early game doesn't hurt. Quick. Run it out. Let's go home. And A&D always has a nice spread. Sam's always bringing some good food. So, was that the case last night? I wonder what she brought last night. I wasn't there. I went from, as most guys that were this weekend from the Beast, most guys were a little gassed. It was a very hot weekend, and last night was hot. We took a little BP before the game at the Legion, and warm, toasty and warm. We're going to try something new here today. I want to see what this looks like, but we're going to go ahead and boom, share this on up. As you can see here, I can do a little Vanna White thing. As you can see here, you go to Merrimack Draft League. I don't know what to do with my hands. Go to merrimackdraftleague.com, and you can have all this schedule here. Thanks to Jay Karima as the visiting team to go collect the home run balls at the Legion. Jim, we're a little light at the balls over at the Legion. And then home team, thanks to the Peterson boys for raking. So let's take a look at these standings over here. We got Buckley Disposal and VFW atop the leaderboard. Jim still hasn't had his full lineup, and look at those runs for it. And VFW is just a powerhouse, so we got to see what happens here. A&D's in third, a game behind. They are the only team with an undefeated record as the home team. Regional siding coming in 6-4. Are they starting to slip? Do you want regional to have the hammer? Because they are 2-3 when they are the home team. Peterson, nice win last night. They will get their makeup game in a couple weeks here so that we'll have everybody at the same number. New Hampshire Irrigation, Holt's, Monahan with a big win, jumping over the Boom Boom crew, it looks like, in the tiebreaker. And then Boomers then coming in the last year, holding down the bottom spot is Tomahawk Tavern. Still a lot of time left here. I'm still going to hold on to my prediction that Monahan is not going to be in the toilet bowl. I'm still sticking there. I know they had some things change. I don't know what they pulled off on for the trade deadline, but I think they're going to be in good shape. I don't think they're going to be in the toilet bowl. Not much changed up here. Heard Kyle Hamill made a hell of a play at third last night, laying out on a seed hit down on the line. Pettigrew, let's go. Where was that Saturday? Dave Campbell, the regional third baseman. Okay, looks like we still got the same groups up here, but nothing too crazy. Dobbs with a nice little 6-10. Gio had a night. Gio had a couple home runs for us last night to get himself in this top quadrant of the leaderboard. So this is good. I like what we're doing this year with this Merrimack MerrimackDraftLeague.com. This is great to see. It's so nice. I like to come in here. I like to play around. We do not have players of the week up yet. We do not have. Maybe we'll put everybody's favorite fifth grader. I know Joey Scoots Holmes, Joey Merrimack. Joey Holmes is going to be on there. I had a new one last night or this morning be contributed. So maybe, Jim, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we put up everybody's favorite fifth grader as we're waiting for player of the weeks to come in. We can figure out who that is. But yeah, that's it. I don't have much right now. I just wanted to kind of get that out there. It was a great night. Had a blast. It's funny. The energy, at least I didn't go to, like I said, I haven't gone to Merrimack. I didn't go to Martell last night, but at the Legion, the energy was a little different than it typically is. I just think after the weekend, everybody was gassed. It was a hot weekend, whether you played or not. My poor yard is just screaming at me. I'm saying, can you please take care of my garden beds? Thought I hired somebody. He hasn't been here to do it. So if anybody wants to come do a little landscaping, let me know. Anyways, talk to you. Thank you very much. New podcast is out. We didn't talk anything Merrimack. It was all Beast of the East. So that's why subscribing here and coming to check out the recaps is great. Trade deadline. Didn't get any moves. Didn't see what happened, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later. Yeah, if you want a shirt, we got shirts. I've got shirts. I'll have them at the field on Wednesday. I'll be at Martell all night. We play at 6:30. Yeah, so that's about it. Have a great one. We'll talk to everybody soon. See you guys.